almost a decade now, I've been saying that no one thinks the MAGA deplorables are more deplorable than the MAGA leadership, starting at the very top with Trump himself. He thinks the deplorable people of MAGA are so deplorable, so blindly, foolishly, deplorably loyal, that he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose any voters. Remember that?
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
And let's be clear here, he wasn't talking about a justifiable shooting someone in self-defense or shooting a bad guy to save the life of an innocent person. Everyone is okay with shooting a person in self-defense or to save a life. He's talking about shooting someone for no reason. And he's right. The MAGA deplorables are indeed that deplorable. He wouldn't lose any voters. But now Trump has some serious competition in terms of imagining just how deplorable the deplorables can be. I'm sure you're all familiar with Puppygate by now, right? South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's story of how she killed her 14-month-old puppy Cricket with a gun in a gravel pit. Noem put the story of shooting Cricket in her new book because she thought it would show MAGA world what a decisive leader she is, and that she could make the tough calls, like whether you shoot your puppy in the face. That is a tough call. I mean, how many of you would have had the courage and fortitude to shoot your puppy in the face, huh? Now, in all fairness, this puppy did apparently ruin a hunting trip. Cricket went, quote, out of her mind with excitement, chasing all those birds and having the time of her life, end quote. So be honest here and ask yourself, how many times have you seen an excited puppy having the time of its life and thought to yourself, boy, I'd really like to shoot that puppy right in the face? Yeah, that's no easy urge to resist, is it? Apparently, Noem assumed that her older dogs would somehow train Cricket on how to be a hunting dog via osmosis or something. Because that's the way you train a dog, right? You can't possibly take responsibility for that kind of thing yourself. Who has the time? So when the puppy wouldn't listen to the older dogs that first time out, what else could she do? She had to shoot her puppy in the face. But Noem showed tremendous restraint and patience because that wasn't the final straw. That came only later when Noem stopped at a neighbor's on the way back from the hunt and Cricket got loose, killing a bunch of her neighbor's chickens, almost like a bird dog puppy would do. Noem says Cricket was, quote, the picture of pure joy, end quote. Of course, securing herself in the car was clearly Cricket's responsibility and no one else's. Failure to do so and then acting out as if she was some kind of bird dog puppy, going after the chickens in some kind of joyous rage as if that's something she was bred and born to do, made it clear to Noem that there was only one way to move forward. She had to shoot her puppy in the face, in a gravel pit. And who can blame her? Well, apparently everyone. As it turns out, no one, not even the MAGA deplorables, likes puppies being shot in the face. Who knew? That's right, Noem overestimated even the deplorables' deplorability. She had to cancel her book tour and dropped off the short list of Trump's potential VP candidates like a puppy in a gravel pit, which absolutely crushed me as I had already designed some really nice lawn signs for the campaign. In her book, Noem says, quote, I hated that dog. What kind of person hates a dog? It's like hating a baby. Maybe she'll confess to that in her next book. Even if you do hate a dog, why would you ever admit to it in writing and publish it for all the world to see? Well, when you're a sociopath, you imagine everyone else is a sociopath too, especially when you've cocooned yourself within the MAGAverse, filled with other deplorables like you. Finally, let me wrap this up by saying that I don't entirely disagree with Governor Noem. There is a tiny sliver of overlap in the Venn diagram of this incident. I do think that someone needed to be put down in that gravel pit. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching.